Hello, everyone. It is Jamie, and I am here to talk about this beautiful conjunction right here between Venus and Jupiter. You can see they're both at 25 degrees of Cancer. Um, they meet in Cancer once every 12 years. Venus and Jupiter being conjunct in different signs does happen once a year, but them meeting in Cancer happens once every 12 years. So this is Cancer. Let's just start this way. So, because there's so much information about why this is the luckiest day of the year and like the luckiest day of the next 12 years and all these things. And honestly, you guys, any day can be a lucky day. Okay, let's not limit ourselves in this time of abundance. Um, but I can tell you how I'm reading this, and reading it moving forward. So first and foremost, they're at an exact conjunction because they're both at 25 degrees. I read conjunctions and people read them differently. Some of them, people read them in degrees of 7 degrees. I usually say 10 degrees. So even as Venus moves forward, she's at 26, 27, moving into Leo, they will still be in that conjunction energy. So yes, today is the exact conjunction, but they will be in each other's energy up until the 17th or the 19th, depending on how far out you want to um, bring this the conjunction energy. If you want to do 7 degrees, it'll be to around the 17th. If you want to do 10, it'll be around the 19th. Okay, so you can keep working with these beautiful vibes. Okay, and I'll just say so Cancer is cardinal water. I was trying to decide if I want to keep talking about this, if I wanted to go into where the moon is, but because Cancer is ruled by the moon. So Cancer is cardinal water, and cardinal signs initiate. They're the first feelings we have. So um, it would be like we often say like the first time you fall in love that you realize there's something as love and how it affects you, right? That's cardinal energy. Just like Aries is cardinal fire and is that I am presence. That's when you realize you are somebody. You do have a being. Um, you understand your body, you understand how you want to move. And cardinal water is the idea too about love and creation. Um, Cancer rules the home, right? Where we stay. And so it is our home, like where we live. Um, it is also our bodies, right? This is our original home. Um, or we could even say the womb, right? Though I guess that would be our original home. But then we have our bodies, that is our home, our communities that they are our homes. And so Venus, which rules Taurus, and Libra, Libra's balance, right? And Libra's cardinal air, right? How it initiates the way we speak, the way we want to keep our homes in balance, right? Libra is the scales, and air, the way we think, the way we communicate. So going back to Cancer though, but uh, cardinal water, what we want to initiate with Venus. Venus is that divine feminine energy. It is how we receive. Venus is love. Venus is abundance. Venus is money. But Venus is also our self-worth. Venus is how we deem ourselves worthy. And, you know, we've been going through a lot of this work with this divine feminine presence coming back on the planet in a big way and redefining what self-worth means to all of us. And understand too, when we talk about feminine energy and masculine energy, it's the energy that we all have in us. Okay. It just doesn't matter how you present, it doesn't matter your gender. Um, we all have masculine and feminine energy in us. And that feminine energy in us is how we receive, how we allow, how we work with the planet, with Gaia. Venus does rule Taurus. Taurus is the seasons. Um, she's deeply connected, right? She's deeply connected. So it is that beautiful way that we stay in alignment. And then that masculine energy is how we move it through us, right? And so I always say when we're firing on all cylinders, we're receiving and moving, receiving and moving. We receive the messages and we move them out, receive the messages and move them out. And just when we try to break them apart, it gets a little choppy. Like masculine does this, feminine does this, but it's just the energies, how they, present on the world is something that we have made, right? That is a human construct, that feminine energy looks a certain way and masculine energy looks a certain way. That is more of a human construct. Okay. The energies is receiving and moving, and how they show up in you is how they show up in you. And it's very beautiful, right? And it's a personal thing. So with Venus and Jupiter. Jupiter is luck, it's abundance, right? I always say Jupiter is super friendly, super fun. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is right over here, right? Sag is down here. And that is mutable fire. Okay. I always tell my Sagittarius is you're always a good time. Who doesn't love a good Sag? And so Sagittarius in its highest self is live and let live. You do that and it works for you, great. It doesn't hurt anyone, even better. Okay. Lower Sag can be very judgmental and sarcastic, which also can be funny, I guess, at times. So we want to see where we are with um, Jupiter and Venus. We want to see if we are at a place in our lives where we understand in a deep meaning how we can live and let live. We want to see how we are in a deep meaning. What is it that we love about ourselves? What is it that we love about our communities? The vibration of how we can make them better, how we can make them more abundant, how we can work with this idea of luck, okay, in our homes, right? Um, Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon. And the moon right here is in cardinal fire, which is a great, like, you couldn't ask for a better connection to me, right? Even if mathematically they're not, lining up. But the idea that Cancer is ruled by the moon and the moon has just moved into Aries, and Aries is that divine masculine energy, that Aries is that I am presence. The moon is conjunct Neptune. Neptune is dreams and the unconscious. So it's bringing the things from the unconscious to the conscious. The moon is conjunct with Vesta and still conjunct with Saturn. Saturn is the stability. Vesta is the light of the hearth and home, right? And so it is this beautiful energy of, I think, checking in with where you are now, seeing where you are at this time of life. Maybe going back and checking in where you were 12 years ago, right? And seeing how things have changed, seeing where you are now, and understanding this is the time to move things forward. Okay, it is time to take action. In our moon school, we actually pulled the take action card. So I always say I couldn't believe it, but I can believe it because that's how spirit works, right? But it's this idea of because cardinal signs is the initiation, it is the beginning, it is how we start, right? But with taking action with Saturn and Aries, it is a more mature energy on how to take action, right? And even where you are now versus where you are from 12 years ago, I would hope you are in a more mature place. I mean, if you think if you were 12 and now you're 24, or if, later ages too. Okay, where you were 12 years ago and where you are now, right? But hopefully we have a more mature idea, right, of how to take action and where to go with this and allow things to come in. Maybe the maturity that comes in is knowing that you don't have to get all worked up, and then take action. Okay, it is this idea of taking action is allowing, is reading the room, seeing how the universe is bringing things in that you can see and then you can take action on, right? Allowing the abundance to come in because you understand how to work in different forms in your body, in your home, and seeing that home as that sanctuary where you can rest, right? That rest is so important, allowing allowing ourselves to listen to the messages, allowing ourselves to take a time out so we could be here and the universe can do its magic to make things come together so then we can show up, we can move into them, right? It is this idea of not always having our hands in everything, right? Cancer being water, it is about feelings, it is about emotions, it is about creativity, right? It is about moving things with that sacral area, right, of creation. Not necessarily with the hands. You know, Aries is the body, but how do we use the body in order to manifest what we want? You know, if the movement is bringing things through, pushing things out. How do we work in conjunction with that feminine side that is allowing things to come in, right? And that is that beautiful dance that when we're in alignment works. You know, we're like, man, I'm in flow, I'm getting it, and it's going out, right? Um, and this Venus, Jupiter conjunction in Cancer with the moon in Aries. Um, I would set the intention that I hope that we can understand how it is. It is a delicate dance. It doesn't have to be that much of a mystery. It can just be the unconscious bringing it to the conscious of, oh, wait, I've got to take a time out. I've got to see how this works. I've got to understand how I'm working in my environment now, how I'm working within my home. What are the intentions I'm setting for my home? What do I see that the universe is allowing or allow, like, am I allowing the universe to bring in what it is that I want to bring in? Maybe it doesn't exactly look like how I thought it would be in my brain, but that feeling and that love and that energy is here. Okay. So we can work with this energy today. We can work with this energy up until the 19th, but we can work with this energy any day, you guys. It's not like one and done. One of the things that I really disliked about astrology was the idea that, well, you missed it. You missed the day. Well, things have moved on. Too bad. Maybe in 12 years it'll come back around and you can catch it. You know, that's always bothered that's always bothered me because, you know, energy is everything and energy is eternal, right? So if you want to go, you can tap into this energy, right? The way we get rid of energy is the idea of that transmutation. So if you don't catch this video today, on the 9th, don't worry about it. I hope you do catch it on the 9th, but if you don't, it's okay. So work with these themes, you know, moon moving into Aries, cardinal fire, Jupiter and Venus conjunct at 25 degrees, which is these degrees of mastery, right? This is knowing something. These are the degrees of king and queens, if you will, if when we work with the tarot. So if Jupiter and Venus are in this conversation, and it's beautiful because, like, again, they meet here every 12 years, so they can talk about the last 12 years and where they are now and what they want to bring forward, you know, or what they want to bring in moving forward. And Jupiter expanding on that, Venus understanding, okay, I've got to allow these things in. The moon, who rules Cancer, um, is in Aries. Aries is that divine masculine that does want to make things happen, but he's also learning because he's in that divine masculine stage, right? Because this just popped out to me. Mars, who rules Aries, is in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, right? So it is this intense lesson that we're getting about allowing, about receiving. Okay, that is just as important as moving it through. It's all got to happen at the same time, right? Um, the artist creates once they are inspired, right? Where does the inspiration come from? You know, I've got to allow it. Okay, you just can't keep building something and then realize this doesn't work for anyone, you know, been there, done that. So the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies. Again, it doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter that they're not mathematically talking. Okay. The fact that the moon is in Aries, the moon rules Cancer, Venus is in Cancer, Mars is in Taurus, Taurus is ruled by Cancer. And then Jupiter's just hanging out, having a good time because that's what Jupiter does, is making these energies more known, making these energies bigger. But also because Venus and Jupiter are in 25 degrees, it is this mature energy of understanding the importance of allowing. And I wouldn't even call it waiting. It's the importance of allowing. It's the importance of receiving, right? It's the importance of divine timing, if you will, and then moving those things through. So ask for more luck, ask for more money, ask for more love, ask for more joy, ask for more security, ask for more safety, um, ask for things to be more affordable, right? All these things that we talk about when we think of homes, whether it's your body home, whether it's your structural home, whether it's your community home, allow Jupiter to expand on all these beautiful energies. Okay, friends, I'm going to leave it there. I will have a video coming out pretty soon too about picking one or two, picking a pile, so you guys can work with those energies as well. And remember, no matter when you see this, this is always the right time. It doesn't have to be on the day. So you can always talk to Venus, you can always talk to Jupiter, and you can always go back to this energy of the conjunction, the exact conjunction too. All right, friends, I will see you soon.